Gohan would train Trunks as he would notice the potential within Trunks. Gohan would start to think that it was his job to train Trunks, since Trunks could be possibly the savior of this planet to stop these androids. So like normal, the future timeline would mostly go the same and Gohan would eventually die by the androids. Of course, Trunks would have woken up and found Gohan's body. And at first, Trunks wouldn't believe it, that his master was dead. But Trunks would start to get angry, saying that it was his fault for being so weak. Trunks would start to scream as he powered up to Super Saiyan, but his anger starts to control him. Trunks' pupils would start to explode as his hair would start to turn green. Trunks would start to transform into his legendary Super Saiyan form. So for today's video, it's clearly obvious that we're doing what if Trunks was the legendary Super Saiyan? So Trunks in a blinding rage would just start to power up, crying and being angry. His aura would explode and the androids would have seen this as they're wondering what's happening. They would of course investigate it and they would see little Trunks, but with green hair. Trunks would have seen the androids and before he attacked them, he says that which one of them killed Gohan. 17 would step up taking the credit for it, saying that he was the one to kill Gohan. That's all Trunks needed to hear as he charges at 17, punching him in the face, sending him flying. And 17 is shocked by how much power this kid has. 17 would notice that he doesn't need to play around with this kid. 17 would see that Trunks is coming towards him, so 17 would send some blasts towards Trunks, but Trunks easily tanks all of them. Trunks would have sent his own blast at 17, but 17 was able to use his barrier to counter the attack. So 17 would soon rush at Trunks, and they both would clash it out. Luckily for 17, he's able to dodge most of Trunks' attacks, since Trunks is in a blinding rage, and clearly, Trunks' attacks are very sloppy. So 17 is able to get some devastating blows to Trunks, but Trunks is honestly not able to feel the blows, and he's easily able to tank the punches from 17. 17 is shocked. How did Trunks get all this power? Eventually, Trunks would have grabbed 17's arms as he easily ripped it off. 17 would scream in pain, and eventually 18 would join the battle since she sees her brother in trouble. 17 would curse at Trunks. Trunks would simply say that was for everyone he killed. So now both 17 and 18 would attack Trunks, and they're actually doing a pretty decent job at holding off Trunks. Trunks is a bit hurt, but he's still able to fight. So Trunks would send a Masenko towards 18. 18 is able to use her barrier on time to block the attack, but as soon as the attack hits, it immediately breaks her barrier. Both 17 and 18 are both shocked that this kid still has so much power within him. They would have noticed that Trunks would have disappeared, but Trunks was behind 18, and he sends a point-blank blast at her, as it sent her flying down towards a building as she is knocked out unconscious. 17 would have tried to attack Trunks, but Trunks was able to tank the attack, and he was able to kick down 17. Trunks will rise up in the air as he charges a gigantic ball of energy. Clearly, Trunks isn't thinking right, as this ball of energy can easily destroy the whole planet. Trunks is ready to send it down, but he feels someone holding his shoulder. This was, of course, Gohan's shadow, as Gohan would tell Trunks that he has done enough. Trunks would dissipate his ball of energy as he falls on the ground, and he would start to cry as he goes unconscious. Trunks would have woken up in a bed at Capsule Corp. He's confused. Why is he here? He was outside with Trunks remembers Gohan. Trunks will remember seeing Gohan's dead body on the ground. Trunks would try to get up, but he's very injured. And eventually Bulma would have walked in the room. She would have told Trunks that he finally woken up and gave him the bad news that Gohan was dead. Trunks would have blamed himself as he starts to cry, calling himself a weakling, that he could have never transformed into a Super Saiyan. So eventually, some years would have passed by now. Bulma would have been able to get the time machine ready, and Trunks was able to get Super Saiyan. and he's able to control it, unlike his other form, which I wouldn't even think he knows about, but Trunks would have probably heard about it by the androids. Eventually, Trunks would have went back to the past. He would have met Goku, gave Goku the heart medicine, and told him about the androids. Like normal, Trunks did wanted to fight Goku. They both would have fought each other, but this time Trunks would probably win. Trunks would have went back to the future, waited for 3 years, went back to the past to see how everybody is doing, would be shocked to see new androids, and he would have figured out that he's in a completely different timeline than his. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys know what's going on by now. So everything normally will happen, but until both Vegeta and Trunks goes into the hyperbolic time chamber. They both would train, but Trunks would have tried to talk to Vegeta about his other transformation, and he wants to see if he can get his father's help. Vegeta is a bit curious about this new transformation Trunks is talking about, so he decides to help him with it. So they would decide to train with each other, and eventually Vegeta is able to push Trunks into making him transform into his legendary Super Saiyan form. Now Vegeta would clearly know about legendary Super Saiyan, but Vegeta probably won't go bursting into tears. He'll probably try to help his son and will fight him, since Trunks is in a blinding rage. At first, Vegeta would try to talk to his son, but it seems like he can't get any control of him, so he just decides to fight him until Trunks hopefully gets tired out. Vegeta would transform into his Super Vegeta form, or Grade 2, would fight his Berserker son. So they both will fight, but it's clearly obvious that Trunks has the power to easily defeat Vegeta, and Trunks just clearly has the upper hand against Vegeta. Vegeta's just mostly getting bodied and beaten up by Trunks, but he notices that Trunks is trying to kill him, but at the same time, it's like Trunks has a little bit of control in his father and is not trying to kill Vegeta. So Vegeta would try to talk to Trunks, and it's kind of working since Trunks is slowing down, but at the same time it's not working. So Vegeta would try out his new move, the Final Flash, on Trunks. He would blast it towards Trunks, and Trunks would actually need to block the attack, but he would decide to send his own blast towards Vegeta. Of course, Vegeta's Final Flash get overpowered easily as the blast almost hits Vegeta, but Vegeta's able to get out the way. And at this point, Vegeta knows that he doesn't have the strength to beat Trunks. Vegeta, being beaten up and tired, just stands there as he sees Trunks coming towards him. He can't really do nothing, so he just tries sending barrages of Ki Blast, but they don't do nothing to Trunks. Trunks would set a hand up as he's ready to kill Vegeta, but he starts having flashbacks of Gohan, and he thinks about it. Would Gohan accept this kind of behavior? Trunks would de-transform as he becomes unconscious. Now you may be wondering, why does Gohan keeps on appearing up in Trunks' head? Well, let's be honest, future Gohan is like the only person probably able to stop Trunks from doing this. But even if he's dead, we can just say that Gohan's soul is guiding Trunks. But anyways, back to the story. Vegeta would be kind of afraid of Trunks' power and sees why Trunks needs help. So eventually Trunks would have woken up and he doesn't remember a thing. And Vegeta would have told him everything that happened, and Trunks would apologize. But for the rest of the hyperbolic time chamber time, Trunks would decide to help his son and just train with him. They both would leave the hyperbolic time chamber, and they don't speak about that power to anyone. So like normal, Goku and Gohan would go in the hyperbolic time chamber next, and Vegeta and Trunks would go look for Cell and the androids. So like normal, that will all go the same. Cell becomes perfect and announce the Cell games, and will still give everyone 10 days. 10 days will go up, and everyone will go to the Cell games. Goku would fight Cell, but then Goku would have let Gohan fight Cell. Gohan would fight Cell. Gohan, like normal, would still get Super Saiyan 2, body Cell. and will be able to nearly kill him. Cell would normally spit out 18, but Cell is ready to self-destruct himself. But Goku with instant transmission to King Kai's planet, giving a sad ending to his life. But like normal, we know Cell doesn't die, but instead of him blasting Trunks, he blasts Vegeta. Trunks would have went to Vegeta's body to see if he can get healed up, so Krillin would give him a Senzu Bean, and Trunks would try to give Vegeta the Senzu Bean, but Vegeta was already dead. Trunks, being angry, would immediately power it up. First Gohan, and now his father? There's no way. He can't accept that. He failed both of them. Trunks with a green aura around him and the whole planet shaking. Trunks in a blinding rage. His pupils would explode and his hair would start to transform into green. Trunks once again would transform into legendary Super Saiyan. Nobody knows what this transformation is, but Cell is terrified as Trunks is looking straight at him. And Cell can feel the immense power, the immense rage of Trunks' form. Trunks would charge at Cell, and Cell is a bit terrified, but he decides to fight back. And Cell does actually have an upper hand against Trunks. Even though Trunks is taking the attacks and has more power than Cell, Cell has a lot more abilities than Trunks. So he manages to use instant transmission, and he's able to get some decent hits in. This would make Trunks very angry as he powers up, as his aura alone blows away a Cell. This would give Trunks the opening to blast Cell. Cell was able to nearly dodge it, but he unfortunately did lose an arm, but he's able to regenerate it. Now Cell is staying on the defensive as he's not trying to get hit by Trunks, since Trunks blows can probably easily blow Cell's parts of his body away. Kid Gohan wouldn't know what to do. He could help out Trunks in defeating Cell, but he doesn't know if Trunks can even control his power. So Gohan would decide to help out Cell. Gohan would have kicked Trunks and would have told him that he's in a blinding rage and that he needs to calm down. But Trunks would see this as betrayal. How could Gohan betray him? This pisses off Trunks even more as he powers up even further. And so he'll attack Gohan and Cell. Cell can't believe he's doing this, but he decides to also help Gohan. So both Cell and Gohan would team up against Trunks. Of course, Gohan and Cell's synergy is not good at all, but their power definitely makes up for it. Cell will mostly be the diversion, as he mostly instant transmissions around Trunks trying to confuse him, and Gohan will be mostly sending the blast to do some damage to Trunks. This would just piss off Trunks, as Trunks would grab onto Gohan, telling him why he is teaming up with Cell. But Gohan would just tell him to look around him. Everyone is terrified by his power. And Trunks would open his eyes for once, looking at everyone. And he sees, looking at their faces, that they're terrified of his power. He became a monster? Trunks would let go of Gohan, being afraid of his own power. Trunks keeps on transforming into this form, but he doesn't even know what he becomes. For a second, Trunks' pupils would have shown up, but he would de-transform after. Trunks would apologize to Gohan, telling him that he took it the wrong way. Trunks would apologize to Gohan, telling him that he can't control that power, and that it was his fault for losing control again. But Gohan would have said that not to blame himself, just that he needs to train to get control of that power. Gohan would pull his hand out, as he would have grabbed onto Trunks' hand, pulling him up. He says that he would say that he would help Trunks control this power. Trunks would smile as he looks at Gohan, seeing his master behind him. And I feel like this is a good place to end this off. What do you guys think is going to happen in the next part? What do you guys going to think is going to happen with Cell? What do you guys think do you guys think would Trunks be able to ever control this power? Let me know in the comments below. If you did enjoy this part, then why not like, comment, and subscribe? That will show me that you guys are supporting me and want to see more of my videos. Also, if you guys have any recommendations for me, send them in the comments below and I might be able to do them. if they are mostly liked also. But with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.